Hey guys, it's your girl najaamlee for najaamlee.com. Nityanda, namaste. Hey, I'm super excited to continue with our anxiety series. And so I wanted to talk about anxiety disorder and relationships. Booyah. Yeah, I know. It's a big one, guys. Especially as a female in the relationship. And I have to talk about this. I don't know if you've experienced it, but if you have, give this video a thumbs up, share it, like it, please. Comment below. I would love to hear some feedback from you guys of your own personal journey in a relationship with an anxiety disorder. How was that for you? What did you go through? How did you cope? How was the other person, in it? And so, okay, for me, just to share a bit, I have sickle cell anemia, SS, as many of you know. And if you don't, I do. I have sickle cell anemia, SS. You can look it up. It's a blood disorder. We come under the same umbrella of cancer, lupus, those type of illnesses. Anyways, and so with an illness, you can also have an anxiety disorder or experience high anxiety, high stress, high fatigue, high depression, I would say. Like everything's just high, right? But add that on into being in a relationship with someone who doesn't experience any of these type of things. They don't have an illness. They don't experience any type of anxiety disorder, and they look at you a bit like sideways. I can remember for me hiding that. Even from a kid. Like I knew within myself there was something, but you don't have the terminology or the things like that. And I've expressed this in many other videos. Like at the time, like I didn't know the terminologies of things that I was experiencing. All I know, I was experiencing them, or I may hear it from the wayside. Oh, she's experiencing high fatigue, high anxiety, and really didn't dive deep into that at the time. And so being in a relationship and having these particular episodes, I felt like I was going through bipolar or something. Like it was really extreme sometimes of once you get into a pain crisis, or if you're not in a pain crisis but you're kind of stressed and things are just going crazy around you, and you may have an anxiety episode. And so I know that I've had that a lot. I remember in one of my relationships, it was a really hard time. I was going through a lot. We were going through a lot. And it was almost like I had no tools, no coping mechanism. I didn't have a label or I didn't know what was to do. I felt so isolated. I was looked upon really, really low. I was treated really, really badly in that relationship. And the person just totally had a hard time with me and was also taking advantage at the same time. And I was going through a lot, and going through each day was so hard just to make it through the day. I did not want to get up out of bed. I did not want to go out into the world. I did not want to be around people. Like I couldn't do much. I didn't want to go to the grocery store. I remember, I couldn't handle that. I couldn't handle being around a lot of people. I couldn't handle, and especially, for me, I do attract a lot of people that do come up to me or look at me, stare at me. And I've been getting that since I was a kid, and I'm used to it because of a lot of the things that I've done before. This may be a part 2. Okay, guys, so I may go into a part 2. So if you want to continue listening, follow me into the next video, and I will continue sharing. I'll just get into it. All right, guys, I love you so much. Please like and share this video. Someone else may be helping with this as well. Okay? Okay, guys, so I'm back with part 2 of anxiety with a relationship or being in a relationship. So I was talking before and trying to explain that, having anxiety disorder in a relationship with someone who doesn't really understand it or doesn't know how to deal with it is hard, so to speak. It's hard. And something that I've learned just with it is that it's hard to talk about. I think that's just basically what it comes down to, is just like, it's hard to talk about. It's hard to put something like that on the table when, especially in the beginning of a relationship, or it may start happening while you're in the relationship and you don't understand why, and they don't understand, and then the complexity of the relationship changes, and there's no understanding and compassion, I would say. And I understand there's people out there who don't want to deal with someone who has an illness or a disease. Like, there are people out there that just don't. Like, they don't want to deal with anyone who's sick. They don't want to deal with anyone who has an illness. Like, it's too much pressure. It's too much for their life. There are other ones that are just really cool with that, they don't see that as an issue. They take you as you are, 1000%. And for those that are like that, it's a beautiful thing when you have someone who's willing to go all the way with you and learn your disability or your illness or your anxiety disorder or whatever. Everything that comes with you, they're invested in you, right? And when you have someone like that, that's a beautiful thing, where they see beyond the temple that you're in, right? They see beyond the body that you are living in. They can see your spirit. They can see the truth of who you are, right? And when you line up with someone like that, it's a beautiful thing. And sometimes it could be considered as rare, because nowadays, the way the shift and energy of people are today, they don't have time, so to speak, and they don't have time for you. They don't have time for what you're going through. You got to get with the program. Everything's just hustle. Even a relationship has this hustle, modern twist to it that is, it's just not beautiful, right? It's not pretty. And so I know for me, like, when I was in that relationship, and that person was just narcissistic, basically, and it was about them, even though they will play a lot of mind games and make it seem like they're so into you. And basically it comes out to, no, it's all about them. And that was hard. It was hard for me. I know that at one point it was very suicidal, and I'm being open about this to everyone because someone who's watching this will probably understand that you're not alone, right? I have been there. I have been suicidal. Remember having a Coke can and pills laid out and ready to just pop. And it was a phone call from my daughter that saved my life, that woke me up, that allowed me to see, like, what are you doing? You have another chapter going on in your life. This is not you. You have something better that's gonna happen. Hang in there. And yes, she totally resuscitated me with that phone call. So I really hope this information helps you. My bit of the story, anxiety disorder with an illness in a relationship, is cray cray. Leave me your comments below. Love to know how it is for you. Give it a thumbs up. Okay, guys?